How do you arrange a dozen roses from the grocery store? Hi, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you a novel way to arrange a dozen roses from the grocery store. Now, we've all seen the really boring dozen roses in a sad cellophane sleeve, right? They have them at Costco, they have them at Safeway, everywhere. Now, the roses themselves are beautiful, but don't just plop them in the vase. Do something creative with them. Today I'm going to show you a novel way to arrange them in these antique-inspired cornucopia containers. So let's get started. So I picked up a beautiful dozen of Vandella roses, this beautiful vanilla ivory color. And these are the Ecuadorian Vandellas, so the heads are really large and they open up beautifully. I just bought these yesterday, but they've opened up really well. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you some of my favorite containers. This is a pair of cornucopia that I picked up. I don't know when, many years ago, and I love using them because it gives you a really formal, almost period style arrangement, but it's simple to arrange in because we're just arranging in two small containers. So when you have a pair and you have symmetry, it creates a formality. And that's what I'm going to attempt to do with these two containers. It's really just two very simple, small arrangements, but placed together as a unit, it gives you a formality that almost looks like it's like a Victorian centerpiece. Now, I wasn't all that inspired. You know, you guys think I'm filled with ideas all the time. Not always. I was struggling a little this week to show you something spectacular. So I said, well, I'm always inspired by shopping. So I went to Hobby Lobby and walked through to see what they have that's new. And wow, they've got all their fall and Christmas things up already. So I'm walking through the aisles, looking at the silk flowers, looking at the wreaths. I was going to do a door wreath, but anyway, the only thing I really liked was this. This was a beautiful fall foliage. I just kind of like the color combination. So I just bought some sprigs of this. And I'm going to combine our dozen roses with some silk and faux materials that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. So all I did was cut a stem of this into shorter pieces here. And then I had some Lunaria from another arrangement. So we've got little short pieces here. I like to buy the faux Lunaria because it looks really realistic, and the real dried Lunaria is really hard to use. You don't find it often, and it's really expensive. And these are reusable, right? And then I had some sort of champagne silver berries from Christmas arrangements I did last year. So I've got all these materials and I thought, okay, we'll just do a very simple arrangement, but that's going to be very designed and stylish after we're done. So what I have here is just one of the cornucopia. I put chicken wire in there instead of floral foam because we don't have a very large vessel and we're not arranging anything complicated. We're going to do more of a clustered arrangement and cutting everything short. So I figured the chicken wire should be enough. We're going to go ahead and start with the roses. I'm just going to cut the roses sort of short and do it like a cluster inside this cornucopia. And we don't have much anything else. I don't have a lot of other greenery. We're going to use the faux silk greenery that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And when you see a big stem like this, don't be discouraged and go, oh, I'm not doing a big arrangement. You can always cut it into little pieces to use. For me, when I'm looking at faux flowers and foliage, it's usually the texture or colors. If they speak to me or I'm inspired by them, then I'll purchase it, and I know that I can use it in different ways. There's a dozen roses, so I can put 6 roses in each arrangement. And all it is just a really simple clustered arrangement. And then I'm just going to fill in the empty spaces with this really pretty coppery foliage, faux foliage. I really like fall arrangements, but I don't like the stereotypical fall arrangement. You know, so I'm not going to be using sunflowers with, you know, the orange oak leaves. I want something a little different, a little subtle that kind of is, you know, my take on fall. Another beautiful color combination for fall would be to not even use any of these fall colors, but to use like a really dark burgundy with a light shell pink. That's a really gorgeous, sophisticated color combination that I often do. Maybe some berries in black. That would be nice. I wish that would be beautiful in this arrangement, have a little bit of berries in black. So all I'm doing is filling in between the roses with this foliage that I purchased. I just think it works really well with this arrangement. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of the Lunaria just for a different texture. Since we don't have an accent flower, this is sort of our accent flower. Just gives it a little texture, but doesn't add a color to it because it's just kind of white and translucent. And because we have a white container, it just kind of blends in nicely. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. I'm not going to add in the sparkly berries yet because those have sort of a sinewy line. I'm going to see how these two arrangements look, how I'm going to place them before I put those last bit of dramatic lines in. I'm going to do the easy part right now. I have a design show coming up, so I'm going to have to spend some time at Hobby Lobby and Home Goods and all those places to see what they have that's new. If there's any really interesting props or vessels that inspire me. These roses are just spectacular. And they're the type that will last really long. You can't feel it through the video, but the petals are sort of leathery and thick, so you know they're going to last really long. They were kind of tight when I bought them yesterday, but they opened up so beautifully. Very happy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do the video today. I'd have to wait for it to open up. So I'm just using the short pieces. If there's any long pieces, I could cut it down. But since I probably won't be using all of them, I'll save the long pieces in case there's another project that I want to do with this foliage. Now, it's not quite fall, so I don't have any real fall foliage in the garden to pick. Otherwise, I would be using my own viburnum or maple in this arrangement. But I think the faux is kind of pretty too. So I'm running out of the short pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and snip one of these long pieces. Now you always want to cut it so that's not a blunt tip here. You cut it here. Oh, hard cut. So that you can still use this piece here. So this is a super easy arrangement, right? The placement is not very precise. You just are making kind of a cluster. And those are always the easiest arrangements to do because you don't have to worry about perfect placement for each item. Now, when you're doing a pair of cornucopia arrangements, the hard part is making the two look the same. They don't have to be identical, but you should have about the same number of stems, definitely the same number of roses in there, and similar amount of the foliage, so the two look like a matching set. Okay. Here's the Lunaria. And because you're working with, you know, natural materials, sometimes it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be visually very similar. Now, all the stuff at Hobby Lobby when I was there this week all the fall and Christmas things were like 40 to 50% off, which is great. You guys know never to pay full price at Hobby Lobby, right? They always have some special during the week. And if it's not on special this week, it will be next week. So just wait a week. Okay, I think we're done with these two. Now for a little extra drama, I thought I would add in these champagne berries, kind of like a sinewy line. And this is just kind of a clustered arrangement. That'd be nice to have a little something, you know, to open it up and make it a little more interesting. So I've got 2 pieces about the same length here and 2 about the same length here. So I think we're going to use these. And this piece is super long. Oh, let's see. Is this a piece like this piece? Oh, these are the 2 that are the same. And these 2 are the same. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to have a long piece and a short piece and a long piece and a short piece in each one. So you can use your cornucopia like this on a table, kind of, you know, facing each other, or you could turn it around and have it be this way. So I'm not sure how I want to use this, like this. So this could be a pair, or that could be a pair. I'm thinking this is better because then you've got some open space in the middle, and then you've got that cornucopia shape. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use it on my table like this. The reason I'm going to figure out how I'm going to use it on the table is I think it'll determine how we're going to place these berries. Okay. Going to have this berry kind of coming out. This one's a little longer. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Okay. I have a little piece here, and then I'll put this piece here, echoing what I did over there. Doesn't have to be exact. Then we'll have another piece here. So I've added the longer of the silver berries in, and we have shorter pieces here. I'm going to add on this side. I might just add it on a different plane because I'm trying to avoid it looking like horns. That's why I want to have a longer piece and a shorter piece, and not adding it on the same plane also helps so that it doesn't look like, you know, it's antlers or something like that, or horns, right? So these are just little design tricks to make it a little more sophisticated. Okay, so we're all done. This is a super, super easy arrangement to do. And if you don't have cornucopia, it's okay. You can do 2 vases. Sometimes when you design in pairs, it's much easier to do than doing a large arrangement. And this is just kind of my take to inspire you to do something with a dozen roses other than plopping it in a vase. We all have access to a dozen roses. It's easy to find in any grocery store, Costco, you know, any of those stores. And sometimes they have really, really beautiful material out there. Maybe it's a beautiful color or a texture. And I always have on hand and collect some faux materials. I think this faux fall foliage and the Lunaria that I just happen to have, and these silver berries from Christmas work well in this arrangement for kind of a subtle fall centerpiece that would be gorgeous on any dining table. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment and let me know what you've been doing this week, and I will see you in my next video.